Hey, health junkies! It's time for The Health Fix. Join your host, Dr. Janine Krause, as she gives you a dose of what you need to know and do right now to take control of your health from the inside out, to rebel against aging, look damn good, fight stress, and laugh every day.
Hello, health junkies. Welcome to another episode of The Health Fix. I'm your host, Dr. Janine Krause, and today I'm going to talk about the most effective way to eat to get clear skin. So if you have problem skin, maybe you have acne, maybe you have rosacea, melasma, hyperpigmentation, or even excessively dry skin, chances are you're missing out on some nutrients because of the certain foods that you're eating that might be irritating your gut. All too often we're looking at the topical treatments, like maybe you've tried Proactive, maybe you've tried different types of creams, potions, lotions, etc., and you're not getting the results that you want. Most of the time, that's because you need to work on your skin from the inside out. I've suffered from adult acne for quite some time. I've also had hyperpigmentation, so this is the dark spots that create almost like a mask-like appearance. Yes, melasma would be the full term of this, or dark spots. And usually it's related to hormonal imbalance. And so today I'm going to talk about how these different skin issues can be taken care of by working on your digestive system. Because essentially the skin that you protrude to the universe, which is on your face, which is on your body, is the same type of skin that you have in your digestive system. It's just that your outer skin has more layers, and more layers where things can get trapped in. It's also your detox organ. It's where we push things across the skin to detoxify ourselves, as our skin is our largest organ. It is a big deal. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at what do I do about this skin, and why are the topical treatments not working. Most of the time your topical treatments are not working because you have to work on the inside out. And now, am I saying that you can't use topical treatments? No. I think the best way to work with skin is to work on nutrition and getting the digestive system calmed, and putting topical treatments on at the same time. That way you get the best of both worlds, most comprehensive treatment in the universe by doing both of those things. So to get clear skin, you got to do the following. You have to de-inflame the digestive system lining. Now, that might sound weird to you, but your digestive system lining is often irritated from the foods that you eat, so our frankenfoods. Also, the different types of foods that we think are healthy, but we just can't digest them well. And so we end up with a bloated belly that's irritated. A lot of us have belly pooches, and we have no idea why. And it's not necessarily that it's fat. It could really be that much inflammation causing that belly to pooch out. So something to keep in mind there, especially if you've been working out like crazy and the gut just won't go down. It's possibly that there's inflammation in there, something called leaky gut. And I've talked about it before in previous podcasts. We're going to talk about it a little bit today in relation to your skin. Now, the next thing you need to do to get that clear skin is you've got to supply your digestive system with something called phenols. These are antioxidants. These antioxidants help to clean up inflammation. They're like janitors. And what they do actually is they fuel the body's natural janitors. They boost your levels of something called glutathione. And glutathione is like this big sweeper, this big janitor in the body to just gobble up all of the junk in the system. The other big thing is that you've got to be able to digest your food better. Most of us are either A, not chewing our food enough, B, we're not producing enough stomach acid, or C, our pancreas isn't producing enough of our digestive enzymes for us to be able to break down food. And then I'm going to add in D here. A lot of us don't have sufficient amounts of beneficial bacteria either to help us to break down the foods that we eat. Number 4, you've got to eat your greens. You got to get the veggies in. You've got to do it. A lot of us are great on the fruit, but some of us suck at veggies. Yes, I know if they wash themselves and cut themselves up, that would be amazing, but hey, it's not going to happen. So you got to figure out other ways, and getting those greens in helps to change the pH of your gut. Absolutely huge. Next thing is you got to drink your water, and you need some electrolytes. So sodium, potassium, chloride, those guys, huge stuff for helping your cells to work properly and to detoxify properly. And then the last but not least thing is you get the inflammation out of the digestive system, but you got to repair those holes. So you got to plug the leaks in that gut. And so today I'm going to talk about how to do all these things so that you can get the best skin ever. Okay, number one, de-inflaming the gut. So anyone that has irritated, acneic, or discolored skin has gut issues. Now you might be thinking, well, I poop every day and I don't have gas or bloating that I know of. Okay, that's great. But guess what? Your skin's complaining for you. And you want to pay attention to that because your skin's going to tell you a lot about what the heck's going on. Maybe it's not your face. Maybe you have chest acne. Maybe you have back knee or back acne. Maybe you have discoloration all over your body. Maybe your armpits are darkened color compared to the rest of you. Maybe you have skin folds that are darker colored compared to the rest of you. That is a blood sugar issue. That's a big deal. Maybe you have itchy patches. Maybe you have red, scaly patches, such as eczema, psoriasis, those kind of things. Those are signs that something's wrong in your digestive system and your skin is there to complain for you. So start paying attention to it. So the number one thing to work on de-inflaming your digestive system lining is you've got to start with a plan. And the plan here is much like if you've heard of the autoimmune paleo diet. What this is taking out every single inflammatory food that irritates your gut and working to give your gut a month rest. Then after that month, we start to add in certain things, but in a particular pattern. Because maybe you've heard of the Whole30, or maybe you've even tried it yourself, and you went through the Whole30 and you felt better, and your skin started to look better. But then after those 30 days, you were like, okay, now what do I do? Well, consider this the plan of what to do after the Whole30. I'm going to go through the whole thing with you today. So the skin reset plan really boils down to no beans, no lentils, no grains, no dairy. Coffee and chocolate got to go too because they're beans. Nightshades, eggplant, tomato, potato, peppers, they're out. Goji berries are in that category. So is ashwagandha. That herb has to go. They're all nightshades and they irritate. Nuts. Nuts are a big irritant. Peanuts are a bean. They're in the legume family, but they're a huge irritant to the body. Soybeans, ridiculous irritant to the body. I can't even begin to tell you how bad soybeans are on the digestive system. And it's not that soybeans are bad in and of themselves. It's because they're genetically modified so much that our bodies have been sensitized to the genetic modified crap, and what ends up happening is now all soybeans are going to irritate you. So you want to get all of that out for a month. Then after that month, you can go back to having some of the grains, beans, and nuts. But what I typically have people doing is sprouting the grains, beans, or nuts, or pressure cooking the grains or beans. And the reason being is because nuts, beans, and grains have a higher amount of lectins. Lectins, so Lectins, lectins are a protective protein for plants, and it's protecting them from when invaders eat them. So we would be their invader eating them. It's supposed to protect the plant. But in this case, we don't want that. We don't want that irritant. That's going to hurt our gut, and it's not a good thing. And that's why you get gas oftentimes with beans, is because they have multiple different protectors around them. Lignins is another protein that's around the shell or that kind of skin around the beans. So lectins, big deal here. And lectins have a huge connection with causing irritation on the digestive system lining and then further causing issues with the skin. So anyone out there that has skin issues really needs to pay attention to what's going on with the amount of grains and beans and nuts they're eating and making sure they're either sprouting them or you're pressure cooking the grains or beans. I'm not aware of a way to pressure cook nuts. Maybe you could try it. I don't know what happens. It could be fun. You could try that as a new trick and let me know what happens. But definitely sprouting the nuts is going to help you to be able to lower the amount of lectins in those foods and help you to not have that irritating effect that's going to in turn cause your digestive system lining to separate apart, and then now you're going to have molecules getting into the bloodstream. When those molecules of food get in the bloodstream that shouldn't be there, now we have an immune system reaction. The immune system reaction is localized oftentimes in the gut area, and that's why we get pudgy around the belly, but also all those little immune reactions could lodge in joints. They could lodge all kinds of places. So maybe you have, poor skin and you also have joint aches. This might be a 2-for-1 for you in terms of getting rid of those as well. The biggies here that a lot of people don't think about, though, is coffee and chocolate. Now, chocolate, of course, is connected to acne. And the reason it really is not necessarily all because of the sugar. A lot of it could be because of the lectins that are in some of the cocoa beans. And if you're mixing cocoa beans into coffee, now you have a double whammy. So something to think about there. But it's a big deal, and I really highly recommend folks who are hitting up coffee regularly and the chocolate hard. Dark chocolate, it's good for you, but not a whole bar a day, and little amounts could be okay. But honestly, if you're going to reset the skin, you want to reset your digestive system lining and de-inflame it, you want to get that stuff out. It's important. All right. So the next thing I was talking about was feeding the lining, feeding the phenols. And so this is a big deal. Your probiotics, so the beneficial bacteria in your gut, like antioxidants too. They love it. It's fuel for them, in addition to being fuel for our cells' janitors, so our body's janitors. Think about it this way. If you've been eating a ton of processed foods, you've been eating a ton of things that come out of a bag, you've been going to fast food restaurants, you've been drinking alcohol, you've been hitting up the coffee, you've been trying to eat your dark chocolate to be healthy on top of it all, and guess what? Your skin looks worse than ever and you feel like crap. Well, your gut lining is absolutely irritated, and these phenols are what are going to go in there and just kind of soothe things out, help to clean up that inflammatory mess. At the same time, these guys are highly researched to help to reduce cholesterol as well. And the way they do it is they're cleaning up the inflammatory mess so that the body isn't on hyper mode to make plaque in the arteries and clog your arteries. It's the same kind of mechanism here. So these phenols, what are they? Mulberry leaf, mulberry fruit, green tea extract, apple pectin, olive leaf, grape seed extract, resveratrol, that's the antioxidant that's high in wine. These are all good things that you want in your body to help to get the inflammation down. Now, I did create a resource, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier when I got started here, but I'll mention it now. There is a resource on my website, drjkrausend.com, that is going to show you exactly how to go through this food plan step by step. And it also shows you the products that I recommend for phenols, whether you use the straight powders, because you could use one. You don't have to use all of these. You could decide, you want green tea extract powder, great. Throw that into a smoothie, throw it into foods as a spice mix. Mulberry leaf extract, throw that. You could throw it right into things. Mulberry fruit, you can throw it into things. But there are formulas that you can also use. And Thorne Company, it's a good high quality supplement company, has something called polyresveratrol. And it is a formula that has a combination of the antioxidant resveratrol and a whole bunch of other ones in there to help you to really calm down the inflammation on the digestive system lining, and it'll also help if anybody has high cholesterol as well. Now, the other cool thing about these phenols, otherwise known as the antioxidants, these guys also feed your probiotics. And so typically what I do is I have people taking their phenols with their probiotics. You absolutely want to have probiotics on board if you have skin issues. And the reason being is because they help you to break down your foods. They also help you to get critical nutrients for your digestive system. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are your fat-soluble vitamins, and probiotics help you to absorb those vitamins. Huge component here. The other big thing is making sure that you are cooking your vitamin-rich nutrient foods with a little bit of olive oil, something that has some oil in it to be able to allow you to absorb it across the gut lining, because vitamins A, D, E, and K, being fat soluble, you need a fat to pull them out of that food. So you need to cook that food just a little bit to get, and with oil, to be able to pull those nutrients out and then get them into your belly and across the blood, not in the blood, yes, into the bloodstream, but across the gut lining into the bloodstream. The thing you don't want is you just want the minerals, the vitamins, not the minerals. You want the vitamins A, D, E, and K to come across the gut lining, but you don't want, of course, the molecules of the foods getting across. And you want the tiny, tiny, tiny little components, not the big ones. That's the leaky gut component we're trying to work on here. All right, so you got to get the probiotic, and I've recommended different probiotics. I have my own probiotic called Good Bugs. It is my Doc J. Krause brand. It is a 5 billion organism probiotic. It sounds, in the scheme of things in probiotics, 5 billion. It's a small amount, but it's important because it is absolutely the best way to start replenishing your gut bacteria versus hitting your body so hard with a whole bunch of them. The reason I have a 5 billion is because I've found that all too often folks who have skin issues are constipated, and if you give someone a really high probiotic dosage and they're constipated, it's going to make it worse. You want to slowly ease in some of your probiotics, no matter who you are. Even if you don't have constipation, it's just something to think about in terms of you give a little bit of the bugs, let them set up shop, then work on adding a little bit more. All right, the next thing, greens, 3 handfuls. So I'm just saying, get your palm out, look at your handful, fill that hand with greens, dark leafy greens. It could be arugula, it could be spinach, it could be kale, it could be chard, it could be whatever you want it to be, but 3 handfuls of those guys a day, sauteed in a little bit of oil, so a tablespoon of oil to get those vitamins A, D, E, and K out, and go to town. That's going to help you to really, really get your proper vitamins, minerals, and also get the pH change. Because when we are inflamed, our gut is acidic. Getting those greens in is going to make it more basic. It's going to help it to be de-inflamed. These 3 handfuls of greens a day, that's what they do. They also provide calcium. They provide minerals in terms of magnesium. It's awesome. Now, if you know that you're not going to be able to get in 3 cups of greens a day, then I highly recommend drinking a greens powder. And there are a ton of great ones on the market. Mine is called Balanced Greens. I have that on my website as well for purchase. There are other types of greens powders out there, such as Organifi. That would be something to consider in terms of making sure you can de-inflame the body and just really get in the nutrients that you need a day. Another biggie here is clearing out the liver a little bit. You need a little detoxifiers, because remember, your skin is one of your detoxification organs, and whatever junk is happening in the body is going to show up on the skin coming out. And I highly, highly recommend, in addition to those 3 handfuls of greens a day, getting in 2 cups of the brassica family, meaning cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Those guys are all in that family. Beets, carrots, celery. These are also good detoxifiers. 1/4 cup of cilantro or parsley a day. Another great detoxifier and another great source of your vitamins and minerals too. So I highly, highly recommend jumping on board with those guys. And so that means 3 cups of veggies a day and then an extra 1/4 cup of either cilantro or parsley to help you to detoxify your body. Another biggie in terms of detoxification for your skin is that you need to think of your kidneys as well. And oftentimes I will have folks making sure that they're getting in 80 to 100 ounces of water a day. Coconut water could be included in that water, and that's your electrolyte. But I want you to keep in mind that coconut water, you want it plain. You don't want to add any sugar or sweetener, flavor. You want real deal, just plain old coconut water if you're going to do it. And at least 1 of your cups a day should be some coconut water, because you want the electrolytes, you want the sodium, the potassium, and the chloride in there. You want that to help you to balance out your pH, but also balance out your cellular function. So you want that to help you. It enhances detoxification and skin health. Another biggie is cranberries. Fresh cranberries. Sounds crazy. Yes, they're sour. I'm not talking about the dried ones, the fresh ones. Those guys at a 1/4 cup a day, you can mix and match them with all kinds of different foods. You can put them tablespoon wise on top of things to divide out that quarter cup. But those guys are great for detoxifying the kidneys, and I highly, highly recommend working with those guys in particular. If you don't like how sour they are, I often recommend pairing them with other fruits to try to decrease the amount of tartness of the cranberries. You could actually throw them into a smoothie if you wanted to. Now, the next thing here is plugging up the leaks. You gotta plug up those leaks in terms of what's happening on the gut lining. And in particular, the best way to do that is something called collagen protein. I love a company called Vital Proteins, collagen peptides. It is blue label, blue lid. It's a great product. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. And it's a great, and I shouldn't say anywhere online you can get it. I think Super Supplements and some of the other supplement stores will have it too. But Vital Proteins is a great protein to get in on a daily basis to help to plug up those leaks, because what it does, collagen is what we use. Of course, a lot of people are familiar with wrinkles in the face being a reduced collagen state. So if you've got wrinkles, it means you have less collagen. You're getting older. Well, those wrinkles are also happening in your gut, and that's what that leaky gut is. As you get older, you lose collagen, your gut cells are not, so the cells of your digestive system lining are not linked together like they should, and they're missing collagen. So get in some collagen to help to link them back together. Now, if you're not into taking a supplement, bone broths, that's what's in there. That's what the main benefit of bone broth is that it's linking your digestive system lining cells together. It links your cells together, and guess what? You start to have clear skin, you start to have less pain, you feel better. That is the whole bonus of bone broth, and I highly recommend, if you're not going to do a protein, the collagen proteins daily, get in the bone broth and do that absolutely every day. Drink that stuff down, and you'll notice a huge change in your skin and your overall appearance and levels of pain and all kinds of stuff. It's good stuff. I highly recommend about 2 cups a day. You don't have to drink just a plain collagen bone broth. You can put in there veggies. You can put meat in there. You can make a soup. You can make a stew. I blend it in with my eggs. There's all kinds of different things you can do. So something to keep in mind there. All right, so that's your bonus there of plugging up those leaky guts. Now, the next thing is really just breaking down the rest of the diet, because I talked about the de-inflame in terms of the outlining it. I said no beans, no grains, no dairy, no coffee, no chocolate, no nightshades, no nuts. I'm sounding like I'm not fun here, but guess what? It makes a huge difference. The other big thing is avoiding refined sugars, the processed foods, processed flour, bakery goods, hydrogenated oils. Those are another biggie that a lot of us don't think about. Anything that's hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated is going to inflame you because your body doesn't know how to break it down. And this is margarines. This is a lot of junk food out on the market has hydrogenated oils, cookies, crackers, cereals even. So the best thing to think about in this case is that if it's not closest to nature, it shouldn't be in your body. Now, do I mean you can never have Cheetos again? You can never have a Snickers bar? No, but if you want to get your skin looking amazing, you want to clear the stuff up. You want to get down that inflammation. The other big thing to think about here too is no soda, no alcohol. I know, I sound like no fun, but honestly, it really, all of these things are irritants, and you can make an amazing difference with your skin if you cut out all of these irritants for at least a month to start, and then start working on reintroducing things, but not introducing them day in, day out. I don't recommend drinking alcohol on a daily basis. I know that there's research that says you can have 1 glass of wine every single day. Yeah, guess what? You know where that got me? That got me some pretty crappy skin and a nice yeast infection. Lovely. So, and I know I'm talking about me, but it's a lot of patients. I see this too. Alcohol is cumbersome. It's not a great source of antioxidants. Yes, resveratrol is in red wine, but guess what? You got to drink like 32 bottles of red wine to get the amount of resveratrol that's going to de-inflame your gut. Don't waste it. Don't do that. Your digestive system lining is your main component of your immune system. It's a main component of your mind, your mood. It's your fountain of youth. If you want to preserve your youth, my goodness, take care of that gut. So I'm going to jump off my soapbox for a minute because this is all about the skin. So this is the way to really take care of your skin. You want to get out all those irritants because these guys are what are going to cause issues big time. Now, the other big thing is you really want to make sure that you are pooping on a daily basis. If you are at all constipated, say you're going every other day, say you're going every 4 days, this is a problem. And likely the problem here is that you don't have enough digestive enzymes or you don't have enough stomach acid. With constipation, most of the time, it's stomach acid. It's a stomach acid issue. Now, if you have acid reflux, I don't recommend taking stomach acid. That's going to do nothing for you but irritate you. But in this case, if you are suffering from having constipation, gas, bloating, I really recommend taking a digestive enzyme with hydrochloric acid to be able to help you to break down these foods. I do also have a digestive enzyme with hydrochloric. It's called Digest Better. It is a formula that I have used for a long time. I think it's really great in terms of helping folks to just be able to digest food better so that they can get their gut moving. Because if you have food that you've eaten, you've consumed, and now it's sitting in your gut, it's going to irritate the gut lining. You've got to be pooping on the regular. And so if you are not pooping on the regular, this is a big deal and something that I highly recommend getting in digestive enzymes with hydrochloric acid. If you don't have acid reflux, if you do have acid reflux, get regular digestive enzymes that do not have the acid reflux. And when I say digestive enzymes, I'm talking about amylase. I'm talking about lipase. I'm talking about pancreatin. I'm talking about it'll say proteases, things of that nature, hemicellulase. Those are the basics that you're wanting to look at, ones that mimic our pancreatic enzymes closest to what your body has. Even if it has ox bile in it, that's okay too. Ox bile is great for breaking down fats. So something to keep in mind. All right, so I've gone through how to de-inflame your gut, how to feed your digestive system lining some phenols to help to de-inflame it. Talked about probiotics and taking those probiotics with the phenols. Talked about digestive enzymes and how that can help you with pooping on the regular and getting your nutrients in. We talked about a greens powder such as Organifi or My Balanced Greens. We talked about how to get in those greens every single day. And we talked about the cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli family and how that helps with clearing out the liver. We also talked about water and coconut water getting in your electrolytes and the bonus effect of some fresh cranberries. Lastly, we talked about those collagen peptides and how those guys help to plug up your leaky gut. So that is the main components that one needs to be thinking about to get clear skin. So I've outlined my protocol on my resource page for free for you at drjkrausend.com. I'd love to hear how you do with this protocol and how it goes. Post down below. I would love just to get your thoughts and feedback. My patients have done well with this protocol, and I definitely suspect that you're going to do well with this, and I just can't wait to hear how you do with clearing up your skin. So this has been another episode of The Health Fix. I'm your host, Dr. Janine Kraus. Thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in to The Health Fix, the podcast all about taking control of your health, rebelling against aging, and having fun every day. A lot of patients ask me, do you think I'm aging too fast? So, I created an evaluation checklist for you to see for yourself. Plus, I created a resource guide to help you slow down the aging process right now. You can find it for free on my website, drjkrausend.com. If you like this podcast, help get the word out to others by liking it and rating it. If you'd like more natural health tips and want to join our Facebook community where I interact daily, click on the Join Group button on our website at drjkrausend.com.